Good morning, CSU Bakersfield. I'm Selena Perez.
And I am Eric Perez. Thank you for joining us. We start this morning with news that the fight over the North Dakota pipeline has ended. Standing Rock Sioux Tribe won on Sunday its battle to block an oil pipeline being built near its reservation. CSUB student Karina Ramirez died in a car accident near Lost Hills Sunday, November 27th. The California Highway Patrol stated in a news release the accident occurred around 2 a.m. Ramirez was pronounced dead at the scene. CHP says alcohol and drugs do not appear to have been a factor. The accident is still under investigation. Firefighters responded to a call Tuesday morning in Oilja just after 4:30 a.m. The fire was reported in the area of Washington Avenue, just off Roberts Lane. Officials estimate $80,000 in damage. And CSUB is to host its first kinetic sculpture competition in spring 2017. The competition is to open to anyone in the community who is interested in participating.
As Inauguration Day nears for President-elect Donald Trump, the fear of the deportation of thousands of students grows. Some dreamers are living their worst nightmare. Maria Rodriguez has more on this story.
11 million immigrants live in the United States. About 700,000 of them are covered under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA. President-elect Donald Trump has proposed to repeal DACA, which is causing these students to worry about their future in this country.
This is the first time I've ever considered leaving the country.
Daniela Miramontes is a DACA student who's lived in the United States for 22 years. She expects to graduate this fall, but is uncertain of what will come after.
If I can't work, if I can't pay for my rent, if I can't pay for my car, I can't drive. I don't know that there's much more I can do. Seeing the kindness in people's hearts right now is what is driving me, honestly.
Economics professor Richard Gearhart explained the impact that immigrants have in the United States.
Most of the common narrative is when talking about immigration, they're taking our jobs. But very rarely do people talk about the knowledge, innovation, entrepreneurship that immigrants bring to this country.
Business student Stephen Tomlinson expressed his thoughts on immigration and DACA.
If you're here illegally, I don't care if you're a kid. I don't care if you're 97 years old. If you're here illegally, then the stuff that I pay taxes for shouldn't be used for people who are here illegally.
Vice President of Student Affairs, Thomas Wallace, said CSU Bakersfield supports all students regardless of their immigration status.
Dr. Mitchell was one of the presidents that actually signed last week, he signed the DACA saying that our students, we're going to make sure that our students know that we're fully committed to them.
CSUB employees cannot release information about students unless authorities have a subpoena. I'm Maria Rodriguez for Runner News Network.
Voting season is over and people are already adjusting to the past propositions while at CSU Bakersfield. One substance seems to stay banned. Here's RNN's Julie Perez on how the passing of Proposition 64 is affecting the campus.
Since California voters passed Proposition 64 legalizing the use of recreational marijuana, the CSU policy seems to remain the same as a smoke-free campus. Director of Development of University Advancement, Victor Martin, said that the passing of Proposition 64 will not alter campus rules.
It basically doesn't impact current campus policies governing the area. It's still illegal to use marijuana, either consume or smoke it in public areas on campus, and that's governed by other federal and state laws.
Because CSUB is a state institution, the Drug-Free Schools and Communities Act require all college campuses to be a drug-free campus.
I fully support it. I believe it has specific uses that can be beneficial to a large group of people. As far as on campus, I don't see an issue with it. There's people who smoke, such as myself, on campus. I think everybody just needs to be responsible as far as taking their education seriously. And if they're here to do that, then I don't see it as a problem.
Martin says that UPD will cite and fine individuals for holding possession of marijuana on campus.
On campus housing, UPD can cite individuals for smoking marijuana. That's for any age. Possession for sale, any age. And again, possession of more than 28.5 grams of marijuana or more than 8 grams of concentrated cannabis, and that's any age.
Unlike CSUB, other college campuses like CSU Fullerton, UCLA, and San Diego State are non-smoking campuses. Martin says that CSUB is in progress to move forward towards non-smoking. Though recreational marijuana is now legal in the state of California, individuals who don't hold medical marijuana cards won't be able to purchase marijuana until January 1st of 2018. For the Runner News, I'm Julie Perez.
Are you interested in learning about newspaper production? What about multimedia production? Are you interested in obtaining hands-on experience in media marketing, sales, and promotions? The Runner has a place for you. Here are some testimonials from Runner staff members.
One of the biggest things is just learning to appreciate other people just for who they are, and it's great because that's what we all do here.
Inform readers, students, the campus community of what's going on.
Now it's time to check on the Runner forecast. How's the weather looking, Alexis?
Thank you, Selena. Welcome to the Runner Weather Report. Today in Bakersfield, we have a partly cloudy day with a high of 56 and a low of 44. Tomorrow, we have a mostly cloudy day with a high of 63 and a low of 54 with a 20% chance of rain. Friday brings us another mostly cloudy day with a high of 66 and a low of 54 and another 20% chance of rain. The weekend brings us cloudy days once again. Saturday, we have a high of 63 and a low of 48, and once again with a 20% chance of rain. Sunday, we have a high of 62 and a low of 44 with only a 10% chance of rain. It's starting to look a lot more like winter here in Bakersfield. It's time to grab a cup of hot chocolate, check out the Christmas lights around town, and start singing Christmas songs. But be sure to bundle up before heading out. I'm Alexis Clark with the Runner Weather Report. Back to you, Selena and Eric.
Gosh, isn't it so wonderful for it to finally be wintertime and Christmas?
This is my favorite time of the year.
Sure is.
All right, up next we have the first annual Bakersfield Marathon.
Basil, 2 seconds. Basil for the win!
CSU Bakersfield, champions made here.
What a moment!
Welcome back. It's time to lace up your shoes and push to the finish line as hundreds fought off the heat and gathered for the inaugural Bakersfield Marathon at CSUB. RNN's Reina Hernandez was there and caught up with participants and organizers.
3, 2, 1, go, go, go!
I'm at Cal State Bakersfield for the first ever Bakersfield Marathon, where over 1,400 participants are joining in on the 5K, the half marathon, and the full marathon. I'm currently at the finish line waiting for the first person to cross the line. The marathon started at CSUB and led participants through iconic neighborhoods such as Stockdale Financial District, downtown Bakersfield, Mill Creek, and the Panorama Bluffs. Runners returned to the finish line on the Kern River Parkway near CSUB. Organizers were pleased with the turnout of the event.
We've had a great turnout. Definitely, surpassing our expectations for first year.
Patel says the marathon aims to raise money for the CSUB Roadrunner Scholarship. An added benefit is to showcase Bakersfield and bring in people from all over the country. People from 60 cities, 11 states, and even a few participants from Canada ran in Bakersfield's first marathon. 24-year-old Gio Mendez says he missed his goal for the 5K run but still finished first in the race with a time of 16 minutes and 2 seconds.
It feels good, it's fun to win, even though the time wasn't what I wanted it to be, but winning is always fun, and finishing first is always nice. So it feels good. It's
19-year-old Jacob Franco Garcia, who is running track for the BC next semester, finished second in the 5K run.
Expecting a lot faster race, but I don't know if it was the weather or anything, but I ran slow today and I did not like it.
36-year-old Justin Patananan from Lancaster placed first in the half marathon, and 32-year-old Jesus Campos from Fresno won the full marathon. Organizers are expecting the marathon to be bigger and more successful next year. For Runner News Network, this has been Reina Hernandez.
Time for sports. Wrestling is one of CSU Bakersfield's most historical and successful sports programs in the school. But the wrestling program is also one of 4 that is self-funded. RNN's Vanessa Villalobos has more on this story.
6 years ago, the wrestling team was one of 4 sports at California State University of Bakersfield, whose funding was eliminated by CSUB due to revenue shortfalls and increases in scholarship expenses. Now, each year the team raises $250,000 to continue operating on their own.
Since I've been here, we've been told we're going to get new mats every year, so seeing them actually come in and being able to wrestle on them is nice, and they're a lot softer and just better overall.
Due to the support from the community, the program has survived as a self-funded program. The recent fundraiser, New Era Same Tradition, paid tribute to the new coaches as well as the previous coach. Current coach Manny Rivera talks more about funding.
The Smalls, Kevin and Tuesday Small, are hosts, but they have an amazing home. They opened up their doors to us, and we had a lot of people there. It was fun. It was a success, and obviously we were able to raise quite a bit of money. Exactly how much, I don't know, but we made a nice dent on our fundraising, so that was good.
Athletics fundraiser Karen Langston says the wrestling team must raise much more than other sports.
All of our teams have a structure to receive donations. In the case of wrestling and men's and women's golf, the requirements that they need to raise are just much higher, and so each of our teams they receive a budget allocation from the athletics department that comes from the university, and then wrestling and the 2 golf teams do not. In the case of wrestling, they have enough funds in place in a bank account to support the team for 2 additional years beyond this year.
The team trains every single day, and they have a promising start this season with 2 wins. For Runner News Network, I'm Vanessa Villalobos.
In men's basketball, after 7 consecutive losses against the Fresno State Bulldogs, CSUB looked for some redemption on November 22nd. The Roadrunners hope to snap that losing streak and take control of the Valley in front of a sellout crowd. Early in the first, CSUB gets going with a pass from guard Diedrich Basil 2 bricks for an easy 2. Then Arrington, who's rolling against the Bulldogs, gets going with the 3-pointer. A pass from Taze Moore to Arrington again for another 3 points. Moore again dishing the rocks, but this time to Durham for a 3 to get him on track. With 3 seconds left in the first half, Durham puts up another 3, and it's good. CSUB took a 34-25 lead into halftime. Arrington keeps it going in the second, hitting the shot and the foul. Basil joins in with the hoop and the harm. Then Maspeth in the paint for another 2 points. Moore assisting again to Arrington, but this time for an alley-oop dunk to give CSUB a 22-point lead. It was a big night for Arrington, who finished with 28 points. The Roadrunners will hold on and take it 71-63. Next, CSUB hosts Portland State on the 10th and Bethesda College on the 15th of December. Matt Smith talks more about the Fresno State matchup.
It's always a big thing when Fresno State comes to town, but our whole thing is we're going to play one way regardless if it's Fresno State or New Mexico State or whoever it is. So it was a great team win, but we still got a lot better to get to do.
La Gran Posada is an annual Mexican journey of faith. Delta Zeta Tau fraternity here at CSUB continues the tradition by celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. RNN's Lyric Flores has the story.
Delta Zeta Tau has been carrying on the tradition of La Gran Posada for 9 years, and each year the event has been growing. Fraternity Secretary Devin Salcido was surprised when he saw nearly 300 people show up to this year's event in November.
The amount of people that came out is a surprise, and it's real shocking, and it always fills us with joy that there's so many people that want to come out.
The event had a live mariachi band and authentic Mexican food along with Mexican decorations. Community member Ava Fatino, who heard about the event from family, was glad that she and her husband could come.
I think it's great. You guys had a good turnout. There's a lot of people here, a lot of good food, and good entertainment.
La Gran Posada is around 400 years old. It's an 8-day Catholic celebration from December 16th to December 24th that symbolizes the trials Mary and Joseph endured before finding a place to stay where Jesus could be born.
It represents a lot of our culture, like many of our culture other people don't know about, so a Posada is a really good example to show what we have to offer to the community.
Delta Zeta Tau looks to continue the tradition and make it 10 years in a row. From Runner News, I am Lyric Flores.
Santa's Village in Southern California reopens after nearly 20 years. Located in a small community of Skyforest south of Lake Arrowhead, the Christmas theme park first opened in 1955 and closed in 1988. The theme park will be open for the rest of the year. The 15-acre Fantasyland is started with giant mushrooms and a whimsical log buildings, and it features Santa's house, a Polar Express train, a pedal car adventure, restaurants, and soon a monorail.
Well, that's it from us today.
Thank you for joining us from Running News Network.
Happy holidays.